welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Boeing 747-400, also known as the 744. Today we're flying Singapore Airlines from Shanghai Pudong International Airport. Ni hao ma to anyone here from China, and welcome to you all. We're going to be taking the 747 down the east coast of China from Shanghai, one of the most beautiful cities in the world, down to Hong Kong International, formerly known as Kai Tak, one of the most challenging approaches apparently on the simulation and in real life. So this is going to be very interesting to see how this pans out. I'm here on the ramp, just at the terminal, and we're about to get started and loaded up, but the plane looks even better. I keep finding better and better liveries for this, and this is included with the Sparky mod, a completely free mod for the 747-400, completely free to use. As you can see, the detail there on the rivets, the shadow work, the textures, the reflections, just everything about it is very A-star, and look at that, what an image. So without further ado, let's go ahead and hop into the cockpit of this ginormous metallic beast, shall we? And continue with the flight. So I've already got a few things pre-started to save a little bit of time. The most timely thing would be the IRS there, so 4 minutes left. That'll give us time to enter the flight plan, and that'll give us time to enter everything we need to do on the weight and balance. So I'm going to start with the weight and balance first. So block fuel today is actually quite a lot. Now the iOS we use for this, the instructor operating station, you can in fact pair this up with an iPad, I believe, or an iPhone. I can't remember what the software is, and I can't remember if they still support it, but apparently you can support it, can connect them and use it that way, so that's very handy to know. So you can have your own real life pad at the side like the pilots do. Anyway, so total fuel 33,000. We've actually got enough fuel already, plus 2,000. We're going to be on the ground for a couple more minutes, so that's good. And then we want our block weight. Quite excited for this flight. Hong Kong International. I've not flown here on a stream before, so this will be a new one for me. Let's hope I don't crash, and hopefully we get that nice familiar approach over the city. So 38.1 on the payload. So we're going to go down here. I'm going to enter onto the payload. The PAX cargo 38.1. We're actually a little bit lighter today on PAX and payload, but it makes up for it in fuel. As you can see, evenly distributed amongst the cabin. And then we go over to takeoff weight 251. I just want to check that just before we do anything else. So go into routes. You can do the performance before you put the route, and there's no rule about not doing that. So as you can see, the zero fuel weight is 221, and then the takeoff weight is 251. So it's not actually popping up in here. Ground weight is 255. So slightly over, I guess. That's the estimated anyway. So it's still relatively close in there. And then reserves, we go back of course to the first page, and we can just calculate. So we know that 18,000 for trip fuel, 2,000 rough, so 7, about 11 or 12,000. Let's just put 12 in on the reserves, and then 18 for the trip fuel. We don't have to put that in here. And cost index today is quite large actually, I'm glad. So this is typical actually for a 747, a 300 cost index, and then cruising altitude is down here, so flight level steps. ZSPD is Shanghai Pudong 1190, Togug 1160, and Lelim 0300. So a few different things there. So it would suggest it's 030, which is 30,000 feet, but in our case we need 39,100, so quite high up today, almost at 40,000 feet. Central of gravity 20%. Again, you can check that in your weight and balance. So if you go across, okay, can we check it here? Am I missing? Am I forgetting something? Anyway, it's fine at 20%. Actually, you can also check it up here in the weight and balance. So if you go up to center of gravity, it says it at the top. So 33.7. Takeoff we go. Maximum today. We don't really need to worry about stalling and flaps. So we go to the takeoff page, and that should give you data. So it gives the QNH 1014 flaps 10. You can't tend to put 5 flaps on the 747. It has recommended it before. Well, that may have been my mistake, but yeah, you can't go any more than any less than 10 because it's such a big plane, isn't it? So 4.2 is usually on the trim, very similar to what we had in previous flights. And now doing some more aircraft flights in this plane, it's becoming considerably easier to fly it with the yoke and throttle. So it's giving me an estimated 130, 135 and 151. And actually that's pretty... No, it's not that accurate, I guess. The V1's 15 knots off. The VR is a little bit off, but the V2 is pretty much spot on. Anyway, that's the performance calculated. The IRS is in fact aligned. That's good timing. Okay, brilliant. So now we can just go back to the routes. Don't forget the QNH, everybody. It's 1014. And the route. So 35 right for departure. What we should really do first is go to routes and then to the departure in. So in this case it'll be Zulu, Sierra, Papa, Delta. And of course the Victor Hotel for Hong Kong, formerly Kai Tak International Airport. Flight number today, which is going to be flight number 280. And we can execute that immediately and perform our departure on here. So we want 35 right. I'd say we put the runway in first, is more important. And we haven't got... We've got a HSN, but in general it doesn't look like... Oh, there is a departure, excuse me. HS191 Delta. And we got that in there, so that's great. Flight plan, execute that. You can also put the arrival in. In our case, the Abbey 3 Alpha to 07 right. I'll put the ILS because we anticipate the ILS. And of course the Abbey 3 Alpha in like so. So flight plan. Don't forget the cruise level at some point. Give me a second. So cruise level will be putting after. Go next to the route and then enter in your waypoints. Okay, so what's going wrong now? So we put runway 35 right. Departures in there. The HSN won't get programmed in for some reason. HSN, unless I'm entering in the wrong place. Usually we'd enter at this side. Okay, it's doing a bit all over the place. HS. Okay, this is a bit tedious when it doesn't do it. Okay, so we can't do that there. We're going to have to skip that and just go to Whiskey 13 for the airway. That's in there, and then Begmo. And you'll notice everybody have been putting my flight plans in manually. Okay, it's coming up with another waypoint in there, Rulmu. But yes, I've been switching to the manual input. It makes it just a little bit more immersive. And also, if you do it automatically, yeah, it saves time, but it might take out some of the realism. So I'm not sure what's going there with the the waypoints. Put Begmo in. Maybe I entered in the wrong place. That's a real pain in the ass. Just reprogram in the arrival. Lelim, so there, I believe. Okay, something's definitely going wrong on this. V591. No, that won't get in. 591. Okay, I really don't know what's going on here. Can we delete that? Alright, thank God. get rid of that. Let's try that one more time. So the M503 after Begmo, then to Lulim, and now it keeps doing that. It keeps doing that strange thing where it's moving up and down. It's unfortunate. Begmo, let's just do Lulim because it's obviously not going to go to those airways, is it? I'll try this one more time. It may not work. Coming up with the 503 and not the 5. Oh, bit of a pain in the butt this. And then to Abbey. And that'll be for the arrival. There we go, it's changed it automatically. Right, now we can put the arrival in once again. So 07 right. Abbey 3 Alpha. Back to the route. Just make sure there's no discrepancies in there. The first waypoints they entered have actually been cleared off for some reason. So it cleared Begmo off and it's just saying direct. Roll move, it's not even on our flight plan. So Begmo, so in that case. I know there's discontinuity. We need to move Begmo up there. So I delete. There we go, HSN. So that's come up, brilliant. It won't let me connect those two waypoints. I think we got too many in there, so let's just delete that. No, can't do that either. Okay, so it looks like we can't do that, but it's in there. The flight plan's in there, just about. And of course, we connect both of these. The Abbey for the. Again, can't connect them. This is a bit strange. I've never had any issues connecting the waypoints on the flight plan before. There has to be something going wrong there. So try the legs page and rather than the route. So it's coming up with no brakes. There's a small brake there. Let's clear that. And then there's one at the end, wasn't there? So there's the arrival for the airport. Execute that. Okay, brilliant. So it's all programmed in. Estimated flight time, the usual is 2 hours 15. This is a real flight, by the way, a real sector but it's based on. Today I've estimated 2 hours 30 just to take into account just any issues we're going to have. So, zooming in, 38,000, we've got enough still. Let's get going. Random squawk code, of course. Let's go 1206, set the RTO on the brakes. Want to go for an engine start after a pushback, so let's get our beacon on.
Great news, Captain. Your tow's coming.
Awesome. Welcome anybody who's just joined. Welcome to the usuals. Usually stream 3 times a week. My name is Grantham. Monday, Wednesday, Friday we do an aviation flight on Explain 12, and I'll be bringing some new streams to the channel as well, so there'll be new content tonight on the stream, and then there'll be some pretty much every day this week. Every day this week, yeah. New stream every day. So probably be about 7:30 every day in the evening. Not for aviation. The aviation will still be at 1:30. And there'll be videos, of course, coming as well, which I've been doing. Right, what time is it here? So it's only 12:25. That can't be right. It's dark outside still, so let's get our logo lights on. Okay, he's pushing us up nicely, and he's going to connect to us as he's done, and we're going to get pushed back.
Please show me where you want to go.
Cool, so it's actually pre-planned it. I didn't actually do that, so the game has pre-planned the pushback. We're actually parked really hidden here. We're in the back of the airport.
And bypass pin inserted. Release parking brake.
Okay, we need to get those chocks off first, so just give me a second, push back. This is one of the last items on the list, is the chock. So what we can do is go ground handling, remove chocks. Cool. Now, departure-wise, it's not giving us any limits. Let's just program this to 39,100, the highest I've flown in the 747 by far. Then again, it is China, so we've got to avoid a lot of high terrain here, a lot of mountains, and we're going to set the runway heading 35 right, was it? I should really look at the charts, and of course, if we turn on the flight directors, and the autothrottle should set itself. In this case, it hasn't, so I'm going to set that now. 151 on the V2. 350 on the heading. And nav on. Now it's up to you whether you turn L and off. In this case, let's do it differently, so let's leave it off until we get to the runway, and then we'll set the minimums as well. Cool.
Starting pushback, and you may start engines.
We got the all clear there to start the engine. I'm going to go ahead and light them up. So we're going to go ahead for another 2 start and another 4. Let's try and get 2 engines at once today. And of course stay with the fuel pumps on. All the override pumps, inside pumps. Flight control hydraulics. And we keep an eye on the N2 speed. There's it, slowly increases. Introduce the fuel. Likewise on the fourth engine too. So as you can see, the 747 is perfectly capable of a 2 at once engine start. Magnificent, isn't it? My favourite.
Hey.
Oh.
Quit blinding me with your landing lights. Turn them off.
Excuse me, ground crew. By the way, the honeycomb works very, very well with this aircraft. All the switches work for it. So the beacons, the
Operation complete. Set parking brake.
navigation lights, etc.
Disconnecting tow. Stand by.
I just love flying the 747. It's definitely one of the best aircraft. Not just for long hauls, but for flights like this. Just down the coast as well to Hong Kong. So we're going to go ahead and start transporting mode Charlie. I'm going to pre-plan on the X-plane map. So we want number 35 right. So it's right down here. Looks like our taxi is going to be LO5, LO4. Actually, no, let's go LO5 to Papa 6 to Bravo. And we'll take Bravo all the way down. And then we'll take 35 right. So that's a pretty good plan. Let's get engine numbers 1 and 3 on. So this will be, excuse me, much easier because we've already got 2 engines started, so the process should be quicker.
Tow is disconnected and bypass pin has been removed. Hand signal will be on the left. We'll see you next time. Have a safe flight.
Okay, thank you, ground crew. Very fine indeed. Your damper is on. I've done some pre-flight checks. The flight plan is entered correctly. The RTO brakes are on. The flaps will be set to 10. Just double check the engines are starting. Yes, they have. As you can see there, they're all awake. Okay, there's the departure. So we got a nice circuit type departure, and of course taxi lights. Just one quick check of the overhead panel where we do the APU. So packs on. I'm going to leave the APU on just a little bit longer, and I'm going to turn it off. In fact, no, what am I talking about? Let's just turn it off now because it's going to burn fuel, isn't it? Cool. let's get going. We're a heavy aircraft today. We'll weigh 38.1 tons. Probably not the best parking here, is it, for a 747? It's very narrow. We can of course fit. The 747 is pretty regular visitor to both Shanghai Pudong International and Hong Kong, of course. Let's not do a Ryanair and crash into the fence. Straight onto taxiway Bravo, I think, so straight down. It looks pretty clear at the moment. There's no traffic in the immediate vicinity. 777 on the left there, and I think there's 747 as well. Since we're about to cross the runway, I'm going to keep our strobes on from now on. Not quite on the runway, but we're within the range of it. As you can see there, straight ahead. So we need to make ourselves perfectly visible, which is acceptable to do in such a big aircraft. So there's the turn-in, taxiway Bravo. It looks gorgeous at night, the airport. Probably my favourite time to fly, and there's going to be plenty of night sectors on the channel. So if you are new here, you can expect more of these amazing experiences. I'm just going to allow the forces of nature to do its job here. Just idle the engines and the plane will naturally slow down, of course, if you reduce the power to 0. We do not want to be taxiing at 25 knots in this thing because it will be impossible to stop it. But of course you have to weigh it all up. If you reduce it to idle, you're going to have to get the speed belt up again, and the aircraft requires quite a lot of power to get moving in the first place. So you just have to find that little sweet spot. And when you find the sweet spot, you'll be able to maintain it, and you maintain a pretty good taxi speed without overspeeding. So in this case, we don't want to go over 40% on the N1. As you can see, that's going to cause us to go too fast. Let's keep it about 35, or 30 should we say. Thank you to everyone who's been supporting the streams and the videos so far by leaving a rating and commentary under them. Remember, the best way to support each episode is to simply leave those ratings and commentaries and let me know how you feel about it. Always open to suggestions about flights. You'll notice I'm flying the 747 a lot more, so I'm certainly open to suggestions about locations we can go to in it. There's our runway just off to the right there, 35 right, and we're going to climb straight up to flight level 391, so 39,000 feet. I'm really excited about this. It's automatic pressurization. I don't know if that's a real thing, but I know it isn't on the 737. It's just a Sparky mod that seems to be automatic on. It's a completely free plane, by the way. So here's our next turn, and this is why we need to stay nice and slow. 747 shouldn't really turn at more than 10 knots. Probably less than that, otherwise you're going to have a wingtip. Tip to one side and it'll scratch the floor or something. And even worse, the engines will, because they're so low down on it. Pre-takeoff checklist. Transponder set to TCAS. Outbound lights on. Taxi lights off. Anti-ice is coming on now, so we don't forget. Ignition is on continuous. Flaps are set to 10. Seatbelt signs. Everything is coming on. Usually you get a call sign in the cockpit. Cool, ready for departure. And of course that LNAV and VNAV that I was talking about. Wait till we get to the runway just to make it a little bit more interesting. Brakes on. I'm just going to warm the engines up. Warming them up now, and we're going to exceed 40%. So we go. Airspeed alive. Maintain centre line. Read back.
80 knots.
V1.
Cross check. Rotate.
Positive brake.
Gear is coming up. Nice and smooth. We didn't set minimums, but it's absolutely fine. Wow, look at the city. Amazing. Anyway, we've got a positive rate there. We've got nice departures. We're going to continue straight out now on our route. Giving us 180 on the speed, so we're going to pitch up just slightly more. You see the engines are going to slow down otherwise, so let's do that. Let's pitch up a little bit more to about 15, maybe 13 degrees, 12 degrees, something like that. Just keep that nose nice and high. As you can see on the flight plan, we've got pretty much a circuit departure today. Flaps to 10. Flaps to 5, excuse me. Of course the nose is tending to pitch down because we're quite heavy and we've reduced the flap setting. So I'm going to fly this manually to make it more interesting. We're going to do the turn and we're going to follow the route round manually so we get it nice and accurate. Flaps to 1. Ignition back to normal, please. Flaps up. There's our first turn. We'll take it nice and early. As you see, the aircraft is very responsive, which is good. Last thing you want is a heavy and sluggish plane. There she goes, Singapore flight. And I think we're around that turn just about, so it's probably safe to engage the autopilot. I just wanted to do that initial turn out, which was pretty cool there. And also we're about 8,000 feet, and now we can exceed, if we can get our aircraft a little bit under control there, we can now exceed 240 knots, as you can see. So there's the autopilot kicking in. We'll leave the seatbelt signs on for now, just double check all the controls. So we get the anti-ice on. Co-pilot, what's going on your side? So he's a bit angry we didn't put the minimums, but we'll set the minimums for landing. Flaps are up. The RTO brake has been turned back to normal. Co-pilot suggesting we put the cargo heat off. We'll do that. And we're going to go ahead and turn the landing lights off as well. Now we're just about at 8,500 feet, so a little bit early. Wonder what that noise was. Anyway, don't bother. We're climbing now. We're going to be going straight to 39,100, our cruising altitude. Everybody just sit back, relax, and enjoy the flight. Of course, I'm Grantham. I'm going to be stepping away, but I will be here to answer questions, and I'll return shortly, so thank you. Okay, I see. I've just stepped away for literally 1 second. I came back. I thought we were in a turn there to go to our next waypoint, but the aircraft is banking all over, and I can't seem to interact with the dial. No failed systems. I wonder what's going on. So it's making us do a circle here. That could be a problem. The aircraft is unresponsive. What if X-planes crash? Unless it didn't reach the waypoint and it's gone back for it. PD. We can't touch or do anything. What's going on? The yoke's responsive, but the mouse isn't. Right, now it's working. No. There's literally nothing working in this plane at all right now. What is going on? No failed systems, but we're going around in circles. We only got there. We only departed a minute ago. Oh god, we got this going on now. I thought it's going to be an alright flight, but the plane's gone absolutely batshit. Excuse me. Can't disconnect the autopilot. I'm sorry about this. It just seems never had any issues on the Sparky mod, and then this happens. You can't interact with anything. Right, let me shut that alarm up if I can. I don't know how to turn it off. We can't. Bank angle. Right. No, nothing is changing. Can we do it the beat honeycomb? No? Nothing is working. Literally, it's just frozen. Is this a problem with the Singapore livery, do you think?
Bank angle.
Oh my god.
Bank angle.
I'm so sorry about this, everybody.
Bank angle.
It just seems to be like problem after problem on the game. The game is obviously broken. The plane is broken. This mod livery. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to change liveries to something else. Sorry about this, everybody. I really wanted to fly Singapore Airlines. Oh, this is such a pain, isn't it? So let's do global super tanker. If we apply change, it's going to start the flight again, but what we'll do is we'll cheat and we'll put ourselves in the air. I'm sorry about this. I'll cut this out afterwards and I'll just have it continue from where it broke. Really good departure though. It's either, yeah, it's either X-plane or most likely the Sparky livery, is it? Just gotta be aware that it seems to be certain liveries don't work and they cause the plane to crash. So in our case, Singapore Airlines. Okay, it's frozen. The whole thing's just broke. I'm going to end it here then. We might as well. I hope you can all hear me. Thanks for being here, and I'll do this flight when it works. I'll get it working properly at some time and I'll get it fixed, and we'll probably do it tomorrow. Alright guys, see you then. I'll just change this to a video name and call it like the Shanghai Pudong International Departure or something. So take care. Bye.